Anyways, so when it cuts off, I stop talking and I wait for it to come back and give me the notification that it's reconnecting. There's like a storm happening, so it's gonna come on and off a bunch. I do apologize. But, anyways, so where was I at? Oh, yeah, so she ended up getting this other female on board and they claimed that they wanted to get things for my new apartment and everything, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable, like, with that and everything. And then they claimed that, that my boss was involved and he needed the list ASAP and everything, and I was like, what? I was like, no. And then there was the whole offending the boss, and I was like, alright, so I made a list, and he didn't even know anything about the list. So I was like, what I do is I double check with people, and I come back and, you know, I make sure that, like, everybody's on, you know, the same page or whatever. I did not police people. I asked questions. That's all. Well, with the boss not knowing that this list had even existed, let alone not even asking for it, I was like, okay. I was like, was this some sort of joke or something? Because she was right there whenever I asked him, and she was making this face like, oh crap, I just got caught kind of moment. And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, okay, fine, alright. So I was like, never mind, don't worry about it. He's like, what list? He's like, what? And I was told after that I wanted crazy expensive things, and I was like, what? I was like, no, I made a list of, like, vacuum, dish towel, you know, some mediocre things, and I did have cast iron skillet on there and everything, because I was having a problem trying to get that ordered, because they wouldn't let me order it on, like Walmart.com. I was trying some flipping thing, but anyways, they even made it so my account crashed with me trying to order this thing. It was awful, but so they were saying that I wanted wool stuff and everything. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And I was like, oh, I was like, the wool coat she said that she was gonna give me during the beginning of what, like, her trying to help. The little quotes, because, yeah, no. It was a whole clusterfuck. Sorry, excuse me, cluster flick of her lying about the most crazy things. And the manager actually, like, the owner believed her. I mean, obviously he knew her for 2-3 years, and I just been there for a little bit. So I was like, okay, alright. And the fact that she had what is that called? She had called me a delusional F, a delusional C word. I mean, this was loud enough for the customers out there to hear. I did not yell. I was told that I did yell. And I sat there going, like, what? I was like, what do you mean? What did I say? Because, like, they said that I was saying stuff about everybody, and I was like, okay. I was like, what did I say? because I didn't say anything about anybody. But I did call that female a liar, and then I was told that like we don't call each other names here, and that was funny to me because like they called themselves names all the flippin' time, even in a joking manner, and I got verbally yelled at. Like he legit yelled at me about I said, you know, I didn't call her anything. I just said that she lied. And he's like, "Hey now, you're calling her a liar." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Okay." And I tried to say, "But she called me, you know, this and that," but he wouldn't even let me finish 'cause I was explaining how she lied repeatedly about some things, but I wasn't even allowed to finish my story. And I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. Tighten it, go ahead. And he's like, you know, he's like, it's gonna be a sad life, oh damn. Sitting there and, with your head down and being quiet, you know, the whole time you're here just because you don't want to talk. And I was like, well, that's kind of what I've been doing. I mean, I didn't understand. It was like, it really was. I was just keeping to myself. Other than, I would talk to a few people. One of the people who had been there the longest, oh my goodness, she got somebody fired who I had a nice relationship with. The same way she got me fired. She lied out her flipping teeth. Said she, that the female she got fired before me, that she threw a turkey at her. I was like, what? I was like, I was right there. I was like, she did not. She just told her to, you know, to go back and flirt with, what's his face, because that's the only thing she's good at. And, that upset, her, because that's what she was doing. She was only just flirting with, one of the, employees. I was just like, dude. I was like, way to call it as it is, you know? But yeah, she gets fired because she was being aggressive with stuff. So I was pulled from my designated area to help with things because the female who had started crap didn't want to work with the female she got fired, and so I was over there working with her, and we were talking about books, okay? You know, we got back on a good subject, and we were just chatting away, and I had mentioned that I had accidentally got a book that was not what I expected. It was it was an 18 plus book, and it was anyways, it wasn't my cup of tea, but I read the whole thing until it was done. I was weirded out a lot, and I was explaining this to her, and she chuckled a little bit, and then she noticed that someone else was in my designated area whenever it was supposed to be the mean person in question. It's a job to take over my designated area. This immediately ticked off the person I was chatting with, and she might have gone a little overboard with the yelling, but she did not throw a damn turkey at her, even once. I mean, and I'd asked the boss if he had even asked the other person who was there if he saw her throw a turkey. And I was like, well, where's the waste of the turkey? And he was like, I don't, he's like, I don't know. He's like, well, maybe she exaggerated a little. And I was like, you think? So I was like, if she's willing to sit there and lie about that, you think he would remember that she lied about that awful fact of throwing a whole turkey at her. And I was like, I'm not gonna sit there and lie for somebody. But it was kind of comical to sit there and have him sit there and defend her when he knows that she is a liar and lies a lot about a lot of things. I was like, wow, okay, I know where I stand on the totem. It's like, dude, I'm a little bit underneath the flipping ground. It's like, dude. But, yeah, it is probably a more important part, because without that little piece, I'm not trying to, anyways, moving on. So, that was quite the, situation. And I'm sitting here and I'm considering, what kind of karma did I end up getting myself into just to have to deal with that? I mean, she was making me quite miserable on a daily basis. And I was happy when she would call out. She'd call out too. She went from working 3 days out of a week to totally taking over the other person's schedule. I was like, ugh. And then she would complain about having to work so much. My favorite part was whenever she sat there and said that misunderstanding. I was like, you can sit there and spin it any way you want. And then she flipped out immediately. And she's like, you're calling me a liar? And I was like, hey, I didn't say that. I said you could. And she's like, you're calling me an effing liar? And I was like, wow. I was like, she was waiting for that, wasn't she? And then she called this other chick, and then this other chick came in and started yelling at me too. And then they were both yelling at me, and I was just like, what the flip is going on? About how I was spreading rumors about them. I was like, okay, what did I say? And then she's like, I'm a mom. I have mom ears. I know, you know. And I was like, okay, I'm a mom too, and